Hi, Shell. And all you other weirdos watching. So, back in my goals video, I kind of said I wanted to paint many paintings, and back in my other video where I spent a week without YouTube, I actually was drawing during that time, and I, I I did draw, but not well. Yeah, I tried drawing a face and it came out not how the reference looked at all. And so I have an art background. I haven't basically stopped doing art since I was a child, up until I graduated from an art uni, and I that was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago. Well, I suppose technically eight. But and I picked up a sketchbook for my trip to Norway, and yeah, I kind of discovered I kind of suck. I tried to draw something very simple, like a window with birds, and oh god, when you draw something, you have high expectations for it, and then the end result, you just can't stop hating. Oish. I kind of came to the realization that I don't think any of my time in an art specialist university, like this is a whole university dedicated to arts, did they teach me the fundamentals of drawing. If they did, I must have missed it. I know there was painting workshops, there was there was so many workshops for different things, and I don't think any of them helped with my ability to draw, like to a decent standard, or to a standard that I would feel is decent. When I say standards, I should probably define it. We kind of have our own expectations of what we want an art piece to look like, and our standard is trying to get to that expectation of what it might look like at the end. And that drawing of a bird in a window, I was kind of hoping it to be like, well, it is like several steps or several different. I don't even know where to begin to explain my disappointment with that drawing. It just, I don't know what to do with it. But yeah, the only time I feel like I have been taught like fundamental rules of how to draw good was back in year 8, when we were told we were doing self-portraits, and we were told how to like how to draw a face, like the relationship between the eyes and the mouth compared to the eyes and the nose, just the lines of where things go. And that was probably the only time that I had such like a teaching, something taught to me about how to make something look good, or passable, or not like a stick man, basically. But after a week without YouTube, I kind of went back onto the platform, and I discovered Nerdforge's channel. And because I have a severe relapsing issue, like when I spent a month without chocolate, I once that month was up, I had chocolate cake for breakfast, that kind of deal. I may have binged all of Nerdforge's videos, or at least most of them anyways. Yeah, but there was this one video where Martina was teaching Hansi how to draw, basically, and they left a playlist in the description of that video, and I thought, I'm going to use that playlist to see if it can help me in my own drawing, because I'm not happy with what I'm doing. Like, I literally took this little kit around with me. It's nice and portable. Random pencils, watercolour tin, and a tiny little sketchbook. That's all I was doing. And I attempted to draw something in Amsterdam, and I decided I'm just going to do the shapes and scratch it. And then there was the birds in the window, was my first one in Norway. And I even looked up tutorials on how to get better whilst I was there, because I was just like so bad. And I just started practicing more and more. And I even drew a vase with a flower in it, and it's in a very scratchy, loose thing, because I was in a coffee shop and I was a little anxious doing it in front of people. But somebody once said that they viewed that they see scratchy drawings as insecure, and I felt very called out for that. But I did try to draw some like painting, like draw the houses and add a bit of watercolor to them. It's unfinished, but more scratchy pictures and not so scratchy picture. But I did try to do a line, just simple line drawing of the houses outside of the view of the hostel. And I do like this one. I do like it. It's just very simple. And I'm back to the scratchy drawings on the very next page. And it's just because I'm drawing in public again. I'm drawing people on their phones. And the next page, basically, I feel like there's something lacking in these drawings. Like, I can see there's no confidence, and even on the green pencil drawing, there's no depth to it. Whereas on the scratchy drawing of a vase with some twigs out of it, there is. Don't know why. And the only picture I am proud of in this sketchbook is a very, very tiny sketch. Like, I feel like I should have used a better pencil for, but I really do like this drawing. And it's just a pathway. It's not even in the proper perspective, because the pathway was going that way and that way, but I've managed to zero it in this weird little, how I managed to pull the perspective forward, like a panorama picture would. But I do really enjoy this drawing, and this is the kind of thing I would like to get better at, even if I couldn't put a background to it. It was just a path next to a lake, and I loved it, and I could have drawn some ducks. But it's just, again, I feel like there's something lacking to what I'm doing. And then onto the stuff that I was trying to do, because I was so bored without YouTube. This was the week without YouTube where I started doing all of the random stuff. And again, just randomly doing stuff that I found online. I mean, could somebody please explain why I decided to... I don't know. I can't explain my decisions in what I was drawing, except, hey, there's this cool little video of how to do this online. And so I did the thing online just because I don't know, I think I just wanted to just say I'm doing something in the sketchbook. And then I even did the typical thing of drawing the little guy. Did I name this one? Okay, no, but there is a Tate sticker on it, so I'm calling him Tate. So little Tate here, I drew little Tate. So I drew Tate. And then I've got probably a picture I am both proud of and not proud of. Like, I was expecting the wreath to turn out terribly, but it's my favourite part of the picture. The bloody window and curtains look terrible. And so I just want, I don't know, I need some direction, and I thought this Nerdforge playlist might help. I've not actually looked into the playlist at all yet, so I'm just hoping. yeah, if it could help my skills, if it can teach somebody how to draw from no experience, I'm hoping it can give me some guidance, because honestly, my experience at the art university I went to, they weren't so concerned about skill at all. They one of my tutors scrunched up a post-it note, presented it to me, and gone, "Would you say this is art?" Suffice to say, that is not my type of art. I do like drawing skillfully, or as skillfully as I can get it, and I just feel like I lack the technical aspects of drawing. So, like, there's something lacking in how I'm approaching my drawings, or at least a lot of them. I do like my scratchy method. It kind of adds a bit of depth, and I can go ham without giving it hell, because like giving a crap, because it's just a scratchy drawing. Nobody's going to care about it. It's, I suppose, still look scratchy and not accurate, which is probably why my scratchy drawings are my favorite drawings sometimes, anyways. And it's kind of why I default back to it. But my art university didn't really teach much in terms of making things look exactly how they are. And I think there was this attitude that one of the other students kind of summed up annoyingly quite a bit, and it kind of keeps ringing in my ear. If you want to draw something so perfectly, why don't you just take a picture of it? And it was said with such a very critical, judgmental tone in her voice that I just do not agree with. Because if you want to draw something that's photorealistic, that is valid. That is so valid. And I want to be not photorealistic, but almost. Like, I would like to have the skill to be, but it's also, I want to put my own spin on things. But I feel like there's still the skills I want to build on to get there. Because for some reason, there was this contemporary artist vibe at my uni that I just didn't gel with, and I was predicted that I could come out with a first by one of my by the person who did my dyslexia assessment, that I am capable of that. But I think the university was just too much of a contemporary artist factory, that the one artist comes in, contemporary artist comes out. Just, I think they were too contemporary artist focused, and not, there was too pretentious in how they did things. I don't know. I see some people who are still at an art university doing their degrees, and they are learning the fundamentals of drawing, the fundamentals of composition of a piece. Whereas I feel like I wasn't at all prepared from my course at all. I mean, I could just be like 7 years on and I've forgotten everything, but all I can say at the end of uni was that the passion for art wasn't there anymore. Doing art for a degree was just soul crushing, and I kind of lost the fun. There was no fun. Either that, or I was suffering from depression so bad that I just couldn't get around certain things. But anyways, I've prattled on enough. But I'm not going to use the sketchbook I'm currently using, because this is still my travel sketchbook, and I'm going to attempt to keep using that out and about. So I thought about which sketchbook that I had lying around, because I have a lot of things lying around. Exhibit A, I have a bunch of canvases right here. The art fold is full of canvases. There's a canvas behind this board, which also has canvases like tucked behind it. I basically have, like, I was a bit of a shopping spree person when it came to art supplies whilst I was at uni, so I just kind of still have them lying around. But yeah, I still have empty sketchbooks lying around because you don't, you don't really fill a sketchbook up. I thought about this beautiful one, but I thought it's a bit too big. There's too much, like a few too many pages, and I think I want to save this one. Yeah, I think I want to save this one. But I do have one that's like the exact same size in paper, and it's just a bit more flimsier, and I can see myself not caring about it as much, so I can use it as basically the improvement sketchbook. That's what I'm going to call it, the improvement book. And it's plenty of space to go ham, and yeah. So first job is I'm going to use Nerdforge's baseline of where I'm going to draw just to get my first drawings, and then at the end of the playlist I'll draw the exact same things again and see how I've improved. The items are a coffee mug, the amount of tea I drink. I hate coffee and I don't like how it's been called a coffee mug. So the baseline is a mug, a book on a table, a house, and a donut. So I'm going to draw those 4 things first and see how things go. And then I'm going to start the playlist. This is actually quite scary. I've been postponing trying this for a little while. Like, it's been a few days. I've been trying to hype myself up to do this. So let's go. Let's go! 6 minutes to do that. Book on a table. I mean, I might as well put the coffee mug on the table as well. Make it fancy. Having a little bit of that. Little tip. I mean, I did just add a ribbon to it. So. Okay, so that's the book. Do the table. Maybe that's fine. Oh my god, it's taken me like 18 minutes 45 seconds to do a book on a table. And a mug. Oish. Next up is a house. Well, I can do a doll's house, try and make a scene. It's gonna end up like that. Who am I kidding? No. No. That isn't going in the right direction. So I could have just done my scratchy style and not cared. I just want to... It has been 53 minutes since I started drawing. I'm going to have to draw the donut tomorrow. I kind of do not want... This whole thing is to like restill the passion I have for art so that I can just... I'm not scared to draw anymore, but I don't want to like overdo it. Like this house, like I finished the table at 18 minutes 45 seconds and I finished the house at 53 minutes 30 seconds. Like freaking look at this thing. I don't know how I'm going to do the donut. There's like very little room for it, but I could do a little one, but I think I'm done for today. I don't want to overdo it. I'm already like, because I'm hunched over, my back is also not the best right now, so I'm gonna have a cup of tea and just... I had to put instrumental fairy metal on to get me through the house. It's really good, actually. Really good. Highly recommend. I finished the donut. And this was the time I finished on. For the entire page. So I got my coffee mug and I attached the book table to it because I didn't want a floating coffee mug, and it's resulted in not having enough room to put the donut on the table for some reason. But yeah, I really do not like this house. Like, there is something off with it. I really do not like it. But so far so good. Page 1 down. Time to start the tutorials. So before my battery dies, I've just kind of clicked on the first. So the first one in the playlist is just a roadmap, but the second one is jumping straight into perspective. I could have sworn there was like stuff before that, and I was right. There were the basic shapes, and I have to squint at this video just to see what they did before perspective. And it's just, yeah, apparently there's like a cluster of spheres, but I think there's like a page or two before that, but we don't see it very much. So I think I've got to find my own resources on how best to go about drawing a lot of basic shapes to get the feel of it. I am actually familiar with one of the people on the playlist. I just didn't put the time into drawing before, so I'm just gonna have to figure the basic shape section part out before moving on to perspective. Yeah, so this might be a while before I continue on the playlist that they have. Oh well. I think it's just going to be an entire page of circles, squares and triangles. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so after doing a little bit of my own searching, I managed to find Brad's art school just to do like the basic shape videos and just like see how people go about, well, that and go over the basics. And I actually found that Brad's art school's videos does appear in Nerdforge's video. Like, I had to freaking slow down the speed just to like figure out what Hansi's learning. Like, I really slowed it down just because that time lapse. Yeah, but I did manage to find Brad's art school was like in there. So I quickly did that. I even did the third lesson, which was faces, but I just kind of couldn't stop with the Brad's art school. I think Brad's art school is very entertaining. What can I say? So like going back to Nerdforge's video, I was I think Hansi's now doing shading of said shape. So like creating the shape and then shading it to be a object. So I think that's where the cluster of spheres comes in. So yeah. I'm gonna do like my little own homework of just making cubes and spheres and shading them into one giant page of stuff just to get the hang of, and that's gonna be what I do for the rest of the day. Well, that's gonna be before I turn into, I think, maybe perspective. I don't know. I think I'll do that and then it's perspective. Here we go.
Now, the worst beginner habits are chicken scratching and messiness, aka bad line quality. That's a habit you really want to get rid of. Having bad line quality is a crime worse than a German Naruto opening. Don't Google it. Take a look at your latest drawing right now. Take out your latest drawing or flip to the latest page.
Oh, now I'm called out. I am very called out. Oh my god.
You're drawing them in 3D, looking at them from the top or the side can help you figure out, hey, this is just a simple shape that another shape is following.
So I try to do like my own little basic shape thing, and then I found Brad's art school. I did Brad's art school doing the lines, and then moved on to his shapes. Oh, how do basically turning them into 3D from practicing doing squares from lines and triangles from dots. I mean, connecting dot to dot, then practicing spheres, it's like circles, etc. Then I did the homework, which was do 4 of each, and it kind of got crumpled up at the end, but I mean, if I moved that to where that was, then I would have been able to spread them out a bit more. Then I did lesson 2, which was construction of everyday objects into cubes and spheres and cylinders, etc. And using the corn as well. And then I went on to the next video just to, well, I think it's not supposed to be what was supposed to, like, the next thing. I think faces are later on in the playlist, but I kind of couldn't help myself and just continued on with the next lesson just cause. Okay, so I did some circles and I started shading, and I'm so bored. I'm bored, I'm hungry, I think I'm gonna have an early lunch. But can we just like talk about the graphite finger? Yeah. Every artist is complete with a graphite finger. Frigging hell. But I do like the what I'm doing now as shading. I miss the shading. I like it. I feel like this is the worst looking Lego block ever. Oh my god. Next up. Okay, so after doing some tutorials from Draw Like a Sir, Mark Brunnett, my dyslexia makes me want to say Burnett, but switching the U and the R, sometimes you gotta love what dyslexia does to what I say, because it does sound like I'm saying burn it, burn all of my pages to the ground because the art sucks of what I've tried to do. But yeah, Burnett, Mark Burnett, and also Brad's art school. Went and did. I didn't finish the Learn to Draw in 30 days, but quite honestly, I think I'm done with. Well, I think I need to do something slightly different, just to like A, I need to not get bored, and B, I also need to pull together what I have learnt into a task. So to wrap this video up, I'm going to do one last drawing, and I'm going to pull together some objects around my place, and I'm going to not do a detailed still life, but do a basic shape still life, just so that I can try and get this a bit more cemented. So instead of looking at something as a piece composition, but more of a, this is shapes, I'm going to break it down into shapes so that I can hopefully drill in what I've been learning. Because honestly, I think I've learned more about drawing than I have across years in about a few days, maybe a week. I don't know. When did I start this again? Can't remember. But yeah, I think I'm done for this part one anyway. I'm going to wrap it up as the basic shape exploration, and so I'm going to find some shapes that I can draw, do one drawing, then continue. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Pirate and very conscious of people who have to pay for it? Man, I get to feel like a hero for reading memes. That is amazing. Redeeming no fees delivery. Look at this, you have this redeem thing here, bada bing, bada boom. So it's switch.
Okay, so I've just finished the drawing, and I kind of planned to do this just simple like box shapes and stuff. So technically I'm done. I'm just yeah, I like just having something that is to its simplified form, just to say, yes, this is everyday objects that I have lying around. Yes, I have a foot lying around. It's Hetty's foot. All I have left of Hetty. Don't judge me, okay? I miss Hetty, okay? If I can find an image of Hetty, I'll put it on screen, but I do miss Hetty. Tragic. Very tragic. But I kind of thought I have to have something in this drawing from uni, or one of the pieces I had from uni, just to like, yeah. I am quite happy with how it turned out. I managed to have things the exact size by trying to like figure out where things are in relation to the other, which is something I've never really been good at. So just having the proportions and like take place within the minute shapes, and then solidify each shape in relation to the other, and how it all comes together. This is actually one of the best still lives I've done, and it hasn't even been detailed. If I can, I hope I can find one of the still lives that I did in uni just for comparison, because I know I tried to paint a Rubik's Cube and failed. It's just, I can imagine at the end of this drawing and painting a still life and then comparing it to the one I found that I did in uni would be quite cool. And also how I hope this development will be is just, yeah. So far so good. Yeah, quite happy with how it turned out. Even though it is the most just a line drawing, you can do a lot with a line drawing. And a lot of my pieces were line drawings and then alter it in some way. and I actually do want to try this. Like, just take this in the future and do something with it, maybe. Interesting. But so far so good. Yay!